In this lesson, we're going to be putting in the code that will help us transition between questions. So to start off, we need something to keep track of what question we're on. So it's going to be a new private int. I'm going to call it questions finished. And there we go, we got that. Now let's go ahead and let's modify our assign question. See if you can find it. Assign question, here we go. We want to have this taken a parameter. We're going to have it taken an int, and it's going to be the question number. So what question are we on? So therefore, which one do we need to assign, of course? So taking that in, and then what we're going to do is we're going to set the current question to be equal to questions at the question number. There we go. Then we can just continue using this code current question text, and so on and so forth there. So that'll be nice. Now let's go up here and let's go ahead and change some of this. So, I mean, this is going to be reassigned anyway, but we can go ahead and just, so we can get rid of this line here in general. We don't really need that. For assign questions, we do need to put in a parameter for this, however, now. So after we choose our questions, we now have the question numbers chosen, so we can use that array. So that would be question numbers chosen, and at the 0th index. That's the one we want. For the first question, that's happening in the start. Okay, cool. So we have that taken care of now. So what else do we want? Well, we need to actually put in some sort of transition, between these questions. So, when you finish one, it moves on to the other one. So let's create a new function. We're going to call this a new function. Let's just go down here to the bottom, put it in after the number not contained function. It's going to be a void function. I'm going to make it public. Void. Making it public just in case we ever want to access it from somewhere else. And I'm going to call it, let's see, move to next question. And I need parentheses, it's a function, and we don't need any parameters for it. And I'm going to go ahead and close it off with some curly braces, just like that. Okay, so now what do we want to actually have happen in this function? Well, let's have it call the assign question function. And let's say we want to have it assign from the question numbers chosen, and we want this number to be, it's going to be, let's see, question numbers chosen, so that variable again, but dot length because we're trying to get how many there are. But we need to remember that, unfortunately, this is going like how many indexes are there, but the indexes start at 0, so we need a -1. So we have to get so this doesn't mess things up. And then we're going to minus the questions finished. Close that out. And put a or we need to put a parenthesis, then there we go. Okay, so we have that. So what this is doing here, we're getting the total number of questions we're going to have in terms of indexes and minusing the questions finished, so we get, okay, what's the next question we're going to? So that's some simple math to do that, and so if we call this function, it should move that over to the next question. But we need to call this function somewhere, so where are we gonna call it? Well, whenever we answer a question, it should move on to the next one, right? So whether we get it right or wrong, it's gonna move on. So let's go to check answer, and let's go ahead and add it in here. So we need to add a condition though. So if questions, I can spell today, questions finished is less than, let's see, the number of questions chosen dot length and -1, because we want to, this starts at 0 and this to start at 0 too, so you gotta put that -1 in there. And then if that's true, then we want to move on. So then I'm going to say move to next question. And also, we need to increment our questions finished, so let's do that as well. So ++, just like that. Okay, so with all of that in there, we should be able to test that and see what happens. So let's go ahead and do that really quick. So save that, See what errors come up when we save that. It's like just some warnings, okay. So try playing it and see what happens. So what's the, okay, number of crows is a murder. Who created Starry Night? That would be Vincent van Gogh, I believe. Largest continent, Asia. Platypus is a mammal. And second largest planet or second planet from the solar system is Venus. Okay, and so it ended. I think that was after 5 questions, so I think we're good. So it looks like all that is working. So there we go. We now have the questions transitioning to the next one, going up through 5 questions. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next lesson.